This
Approval of the,
conference will now be recorded.
Ah,
can I get a motion to approve the agenda?
sure.
Dave, thank you. Melinda, second. Thank you. And can I get an adoption of the minutes from our last meeting from last month? Did everyone get a chance to review it?
Mhm.
Great. Sally, Sally has a motion to pass it. And could I get Mike to second it? Great. Thank you.
I don't think that's how
Any
it
business
works.
arising from the minutes? No, great. Let's just dive right in then. Okay. Uh, Finalizing Make Mono Shine coming up next month, April 23rd. I've got a couple of updates. So I've reached out to Fiddlefoot Farm and Waste Not Farms. Waste Not Farms is unavailable. That is one of their busy weekends, so they already have other commitments to be participating in some other Earth Day event. And I have not heard back from Fiddlefoot Farms. I did send them a follow up yesterday, so hopefully we'll hear back from them. Shine Baking, the vegan gluten free bakery from Shelburne. They are in. They are really looking forward to participating. They have a great customer base, so I'm sure we'll get lots of people to come and enjoy their treats along with the other
Okay.
activities today.
Can you
Um,
get, can
I
you get
have
the
also
Sean's pamphlet out of the drawer?
Pardon?
Get Sean's pamphlet out of the drawer. It's in the
Ellie, mute
drawer.
yourself, please.
Which
Ellie,
drawer?
mute.
We're
Mute.
talking business. I'll
Which
get it.
drawer?
I'll get it.
I have reached out to Credit Valley Conservation. So I spoke with my supervisor, and so she just directed me to put in a formal request. Um, so, like, Conservation Parks isn't able to participate, but another department might. So, just waiting to hear back from them. However, they are happy to donate a family membership for one of our prize draws,
Awesome.
which is great.
Mm-hmm.
And then that is all the updates I have on my end. Oh, and J-Tip's band is confirmed.
What time for the J-Kips band, Hyland?
10 a.m. to 1:30 p.m.
Okay. I'm sorry, 10:30 to 1:30? Is that what you just said?
Yeah, I told them to come for 10 to set up, and
Okay.
then I guess, however long it takes them to
Sure.
set up. Depending on how many people are around as well, they'll be ready to definitely start performing probably like around 11.
Sure. I'm just wondering with the food and the beer garden, it may be a lot more popular than what we're even anticipating. So,
Oh, so that's new beer garden. If you want to update us on that.
yeah. Hold on one second. Um,
I think I
sorry.
saw that on the flyer that someone shared on Facebook that there was a beer garden. I was like, oh.
Yeah. Yeah, they're going to have a beer garden, and that's all being sponsored by Monocliffs Inn. So,
Oh,
yeah, yeah. So it's a great fundraiser, and I think it's going to attract, believe it or not, a lot more people than you know.
sure.
And I think it goes great with the Jacobs band being there as well. So
Yeah,
um,
totally.
I think it's going to turn into a great little, afternoon type event. It's looking like fun. So I have a feeling that people might even want the band to stay beyond 1:30, so that would be something that I don't know whether they would be um, open to, and it'd be something that we'd have to negotiate a price with them if they wanted to stay, what we would be able to pay them, or what the tennis club would be able to pay them, or whatnot.
So can you just kind of give us the background on what's going on with where's this beer garden getting set up?
It's all
Like,
going to
is
be
it?
in the tennis courts,
Oh, I
so
see.
completely
Okay.
fenced in. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
so Mono Cliffs Inn is setting up like a like food service and a beer garden.
Oh,
Hmm.
the food
Gotcha.
is,
Yes,
Go
Sally.
ahead, Sal.
Yes.
the food is now not, it's not a barbecue done by the Mono's Tennis Club. It's actually food provided by Mono Cliffs Inn.
Yeah, like the Mono Tennis Club approached Mono Cliffs Inn, and Mono Cliffs Inn, like they just approached them to talk to them about, where could they purchase food from, like basically trying to see whether or not they could get a deal through whoever supplies them with their food. And Mono Cliffs Inn jumped up to the plate and said, "I'll do you one better. We'll do this for you."
Okay,
Um,
Awesome.
so
that's awesome
yeah,
because their food is awesome, and they did it for the Breeze Trail
awesome.
before, and the food was fabulous.
Yeah, I'm
So
I'm thrilled for
What if
them.
you, what, like sandwiches and things that they prepare ahead of time, or
No, it'll be a
Sally, what kind of,
barbecue.
oh,
Barbecue,
it
probably.
still will be a barbecue. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
and then so it'll be like a paid barbecue, like you got it paid to eat and drink and all that.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
and all funds raised will go towards the new tennis courts that are being put in at.
Oh, wow.
All the
Yeah.
funds?
And
Oh
some
wow.
to Mono Cliffs, right? Well, Mono
No,
Cliffs
well,
take,
I'm sure Mono Cliffs, whatever the
handling the
tennis
cat.
club has made the arrangements, because they're looking after this portion of it. So
Mhm.
whatever food arrangements the tennis club has made with Mono Cliffs Inn, that's up to them. But I know that Mono Cliffs Inn offered to do this as a fundraiser for them.
Oh,
So
nice.
I have a
Gotcha.
feeling that it's probably at cost.
And then
Right, because they'll want,
so the tennis club is setting up like all the tables and
Tennis Club
all
is
the info.
100% looking after the food portion of this. We don't have any, we don't have to be involved whatsoever in food, drink, nothing.
Okay, great. And then what are do they have the set same hour? Like what time is the food and beer opening up at?
I believe 11.
Gotcha. Okay. And then okay, cool.
Yeah.
but
Okay,
when are we
great.
having our draw? What time are we having our draw for bringing back your garbage bags? 1 o'clock
I was
or
thinking at
1:30?
1. I think that's what
One?
we had sort of discussed, that it'd be at 1 o'clock. Um, and, um, we can discuss today as to where we want to hold that draw. Like if the J Kips band is going to be over at the gazebo, then, does that make sense to hold it at the gazebo? If the J Kips band is going to be on the tennis courts, does it make sense to hold it at the tennis courts? That sort of thing.
Okay, so we gotta kind of figure out the layout here because okay, so how long is the barbecue gonna be open for? Are they doing it within our event hours or are they extending it?
Well, they know that our event goes from 10 to 1:30.
Hmm. Right, but you were just talking about asking
I'm
Jake to
just
stay
I'm
one.
just wondering, because from comments that I've seen on social media, it looks like people are, wow, I'm going to come, I'm going to come. It looks like um,
It's
it's
a,
going to be a very popular event. So
yeah.
I mean, I
Hmm.
just threw it out there that there's the possibility that some people may say, oh, I'm having such a good time, I hate for the band to go home. So, but that'll be between the tennis club and the band?
Well, no, we should set out the timeline so that we can plan for it accordingly. And I mean, go ahead, Melinda.
Well, yeah, so this all sounds fabulous. I hope it doesn't rain. But the idea, our Make Mono Shine turning into just a tennis club fundraiser might be tricky.
Yeah.
So if on social media, because a tennis club is going to have a ton of members, right? It's got to have hundreds of members, no? So then, oh yeah, let's go to the thing. And then, but are you collecting any garbage on your way? And did you
Well,
come at
that's the
9?
plan, is that they
How-
will participate. They will be participating in the Make Mono Shine portion of this.
They will,
So-
eh? So that's, as Hoyen says, that we need to be prepared. If we're thinking that there's going to be
Yeah.
200 people for the barbecue, whereas we were kind of thinking about 50, then, and all those 200 people are going to come in the morning to get the bags and go which way to go to collect the garbage and everything, that we need to be prepared for that too, right?
Right.
So that it happens efficiently, so that they can get back. Now there's a real keen interest in getting back for 11 o'clock, not just the band and and some prizes in the future, but now there's some food and the social aspect of the tennis people who've been waiting to see each other for a long time in a setting, right?
Yeah.
Sounds, yes. So what do you think we should do?
Mike, you had something to say? Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm sorry about missing the last meeting, but I'm a bit confused because the penultimate meeting, we discussed the importance on Earth Day of staying true to what we're doing and not having meat. And now it looks like something has happened. So now the food looks like it's going to be pretty much all meat.
Well, what's the menu? They might have vegetarian.
They told me they would give us a vegetarian option.
Yeah, I think like we just need to communicate with the tennis club the nature of this event, that it's in celebration of Earth Day, that we're trying to be sustainable, and just so that they understands what this event really is about. It's about environmentalism,
and it-
stewardship. So we just need to be practicing um, those aspects with this event. Sally, go ahead.
Okay, I reported everything to Kim about the Bruce Trail is coming out in a big way. We have the Caledon Club is coming. They're going to be leading hikes. The Biodiversity Committee is coming out. They're going to be leading hikes. I think the
Amazing.
Delta Highlands Club is coming out. They're going to run some hikes. They'll all be beginner hikes. So there's going to be a big representation from the Bruce Trail. There's a great deal of pent up desire to participate in an activity at the Bruce Trail because they haven't been able to do much. So we'll have quite a few volunteers. Also, I mentioned to Kim that there's a guy, Dave was supposed to get his pamphlet from downstairs. It's in the drawer. That's what we were talking about. He's a gardener that put in a garden here for us, and he does all local like all Ontario local plants. Maybe Dave can add something. I mentioned to Kim his name. He's going to set up something. So there's going to be quite a few Earth Day kind of activities going on.
Great.
So there'll be a real Earth Day theme to it. And I think if you tell that, I mean, the tennis club knows what it's for. I think if you tell them, they'll all participate.
they've been told they know exactly what this event is for.
Because we need
Great.
the numbers. Like when you bring guests out, like the Bruce Trail, like if there's only 20 people that show up, it doesn't make them want to come out the next time. But if you have 100 or 150, and they get a lot of, they might get some new members. They get to introduce, teach people about some things. Then those people will be more excited too if we have future events. So actually, the thing with the monocliffs it sounds kind of good.
Yeah, definitely. And then so the Biodiversity Club and the Bruce Trail Bill, will they have displays to
They'll have displays. We have people from membership of the group coming out. So between Sean, who's the guy that grows the plants, does gardens, there'll be one, and then I think there'll be 3 different groups from the Bruce Trail, because there'll be the Dufferin Highlands Club, the Caledon Club, and the Biodiversity Committee, which is a separate club of the Bruce Trail. So they'll have 3 different groups doing displays and at least 2 doing hikes.
Great. And then, so will they have information about invasive species as well?
Yes, biodiversity.
Great. Fantastic. Yeah, I'm really hoping Credit Valley will to participate, because it would just really add to the event as well, especially with all the Bruce Trail representation.
And Bruce Trails also, the Caledon Club is also donating a membership. I'll ask the Dufferin Highlands Club. I'm not sure if they're going to donate one or not. I haven't talked to anybody there yet.
Kim, do you still have any of those the guided hiking books from Nicola?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Could we use maybe one of those for a giveaway?
Oh, we'll be using a couple of them,
Oh,
at
fantastic.
least. And I've also got a local woodmaker who is donating a charcuterie board for us. And I've got one of our counselors is actually donating 4 brand new wine goblets. So
Awesome.
a few things there. I'm also going to be reaching out to the car dealerships. I'm going to be reaching out to the restaurants and asking them for gift certificates to see if we can't get anything from them as well. Plus, we've got prizes from the bingo that I'll be able to go through. I don't want to use them all because there are quite a few there. I want to kind of share the wealth on those ones. Keep some for other events. But there's like a little mini putting green in there that we had, and some other kind of fun stuff.
Great. And then for in regards to the car dealerships, like, what's your approach there? Because unless
Just
they're
sometimes,
going to be promoting like electric vehicles, I think that's great. But
no, I'm
like,
just gonna tell them we're doing an event, Make Moto Shine, and the whole thing is to clean up the roads. It's in our parks and trails. And would they be interested in donating or sponsoring the event in somehow? I don't want any vehicles out there for it.
Unless they have an electric car.
yeah, unless they have an electric car. But otherwise, I just don't see the fit really.
I can tell you, the guy that owns Royal Chevrolds walks on the Bruce Trail every day. He goes in on the 3rd line and walks in the Hockley Nature Reserve. Mr. McKay is his name.
What's his
I don't
name,
think
Mr.
he's
McKay, with Royal
McKay.
Chevrolet?
And he's like the father. The son actually runs the business now, I think. But he comes and he parks in the 3rd line every day in his big SUV, so you might find them receptive to something.
It's kind of like dovetailing, right? We're trying to keep Mono clean for the betterment of everybody for the future. And the car dealerships along 9 and along 10 are the biggest industries that we have in the little town, right? So you're right, it's a fine line with respect to, the real green earth thing. But even if don't swing all the way to really green and everything, being a responsible citizen has many looks to it, eh? So, but you're right, a big honking truck out there might not look as good, but.
That reminds me, I also reached out to Dufferin County, their waste department, to see their public works department, if they wanted to participate as well. I'm actually going to be working with the county this summer as a waste outreach assistant. a summer student position. So I'll be helping to roll out a waste diversion campaign for the summer. So it would be awesome if they're going to be able to participate. Go ahead,
Do you know
Sally.
who you spoke? Do you know who you spoke with at the county?
Yeah, so I mentioned it in my interview with Karima. She's one of the HR specialists, and then shoot, I forget the other two names that were in the interview, but I did invite them, and then they just told me to email the waste services email.
Yeah, I have a contact with them.
Okay, so do you want to follow up
So
with them?
I'll get in touch directly with her.
Amazing.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead, Sally.
Are we going to, when the bags come back in, are we going to make sure that they're separated into waste and recycling? And are we going to, I know with some of the things they do for Earth Day and they do for eco schools and stuff like that, they actually weigh the garbage and figure out what percentage is being diverted and stuff like that. Are we going to do any of that stuff? Because maybe that could be done through County of Dufferin, their waste department. Maybe they could do that. We could actually know how much is coming in and where it's going and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
I'm sorry, Sally. What do you want me to ask them? Can they divert the garbage?
We actually figure out how much garbage has come in. You can weigh it, and you make sure it's separated into recycling and into garbage. So, like, if people bring in mixed bags, well, we should be asking them to separate it. So, because there's a lot of recyclables in the ditches, I know from experience out in front of our place.
Yeah.
And people should be separating all that stuff, and then when it comes in, we should have it in separate containers so it goes to the right place. Because it's not all.
Absolutely.
So
But
when they come and pick up the bags, we should give them two for that purpose, at least, right?
I'm thinking a blue bag and a clear bag.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
We should have a way of figuring out the percentage, like when it comes back in, like there's different things that you can use to figure out the percentage of waste that you collected and the diversion rate and stuff like that. There might be something already online for Earth Day for that.
But if they were in separate bags, all we need to do is weigh everybody's bags and just keep track of the white ones and the blue ones, and then add it all up.
Right? And keep them in separate containers when they get picked up by, I guess, the town of Mono or whatever, who's going to take it away afterwards.
I'm just thinking, where do we get this scale?
Oh, you can just get a little hand scale. We used to use a fish scale because the bags aren't that heavy. And then you just have to just record everything and you add it all up.
The county might have something like that.
They probably have.
Yeah. So, Kim, what is happening with all the waste and recycling afterwards? So are we just piling it in an area so that it's ready for pickup for the county on garbage day, or has something already been arranged?
No, I haven't arranged anything yet. I haven't spoken with GFL yet. That was something I was going to talk to the county about on how they wanted to handle it, because there's the, there's the chance that we could get a whole lot of garbage coming in, and I have to talk to the county to see whether or not they will do a pickup on the Sunday or on the Monday. And then, I guess when I'm thinking logistically here, where are we going to store all this garbage over the weekend?
On the recycling. Well, isn't there, what about that sheltered area that's already at the community center?
The sheltered area, it has the dumpster in it. So, I mean, the regular garbage can go in the dumpster. Like, we'll make sure the dumpster's empty. So the regular garbage can go in that dumpster. And then it's just a matter of how much recycling we get, because there is some space behind there. There's not a whole lot, like behind the dumpster, there's some space. We'll figure it out. we'll just have to get it in there.
And I presume you have green bin pickup there too, because with food, well,
Nope.
there's going to be a food service there, and food creates green bin type waste. So
Yeah.
we probably need to figure out a way to handle that too.
Maybe you can ask
Yeah.
the Mono Cliffs Inn to take care of their own garbage. And maybe they'll take it back over to their restaurant or something with the green bin. If they have a green bin pickup, I don't know
Well,
what they do.
yeah, but these are all questions that the county can help me with. They're waste management people.
Yeah.
I'll sort all of this out with them. Okay.
Okay, one other thing, just people from the Bruce Trail have been asking me that they're supposed to show up at 10 o'clock to set up their booths and their tables. Is that how we're doing it?
Yes, that's what we talked about last meeting.
And when will we start the hikes? They, like at 11? Or because people are coming back?
Yeah, but I mean, we could start them at 10:30
Okay,
and then kind of go by how many people come back. But we
okay.
should definitely publicize it and mark and throw it up on social media that we have like guided hikes led by Bruce Trail volunteers, so that that will create more interest.
Yeah, and there's
Sally,
two
would
types.
you,
Yeah, sorry.
yeah, Sally, would you be able to do up a kind of an itinerary of when the hikes will be happening and where they're starting, what
we
the
can-
focus of the hike is,
We can do
so
that.
that we can publish that? Like if I can just put you, Sally, in charge of hikes.
Okay.
And then we also just got to figure out where we want to set up the community groups. Do we want to set them up along, like close to the tennis court, so that it's kind of all looks like it's all within one area, or set them up in the basketball court, or what were you thinking, Kim?
Well, right now, I've just from what you guys have told me, I've got the need for 5 tables. I see, Linda, you've got one person, the Shine Baking, possibly Fiddlefoot Farms. So
I
that's
don't have a lot of faith in that.
okay.
But
So I've got
possibly Ally.
I've got 1 8-foot for them. And then I've got 4 for you, Sally, between the Bruce Trail and on Sean.
Okay.
So that's 5. Hopefully the county will be coming. That's 6. Is there anyone else that I'm missing?
And then Sally, would the Bruce Trail, like, do each of those clubs have their own tents?
They have tents. Yeah, we'll bring a Bruce Trail tent for Caledon. I believe Dufferin Highlands probably has one. I don't know about biodiversity, but we might have an extra tent for
Well,
them.
but we could supply our tent that we have, Peter's
Yeah,
tent.
we have 2 tents for the Caledon Club and the Biodiversity Club, and we'll ask Dufferin Highlands if they have one. I think they do have one.
Great. And I'll just check. I think Shine Baking has their own tent as well, because they have because they're always set up at the farmers market, but I'll just double check. If they don't have one, Kim, does the town have a 10 by 10?
Yeah, we have a tent. Yeah, we have a tent. No problem. But will each of these groups need a table, just so I can?
Yeah. Well, Shine Baking will. Yeah.
Okay.
And a couple of chairs for volunteers to sit in.
Yeah. Okay.
With respect to the setup of where, just looking at the map here, if Jay Kipps needs electricity, right? He's not battery solar operated. And we know there's
I was thinking we could put Jay not in the gazebo, because that's pretty far away, but like just right underneath the overhang on the side of the community center facing the parking lot.
Yeah. So then
you can hear them.
Yeah. So did we, while I was looking up the map, did I miss you guys saying that we are going to set up these things in that parking lot that's closest to the building, so that then the tennis court, the parking lot, and his music are all right there, plus the garbage bin of where we want to drop this stuff, and everybody parks in those other parking lots? Is
I
that,
think that's a great idea, Melinda. I think that's a great idea.
everything's all together?
Yeah, I think that's an awesome idea. Just we'll use that paved parking lot for
For the
for the
party.
whole setup. And yeah, somebody wants the cats to play with them. We'll sorry. Yeah. And yeah, so we put the band in there, or like over by where you said, you know, where there's electricity for them underneath the portico at the, or the, whatever you want to call it, over at the, on the south side of the building.
Hmm.
And we can put
Yeah.
the tables, what if we put the tables, you know, right in front of the tennis clubhouse?
Yep, on the grass.
Does that work? Okay. And then that leaves a clear line over to where the dump, and then we set up for the dumpster, like by the dumpster, like we set up all kind of the all of our stuff, like recycling and garbage drop off and all of that. The only
Over
thing
there.
is when they come in, they'll have to carry the garbage from,
They can't drive.
they won't be able to drive the garbage to us.
I don't think any of them will have that much.
I don't either. I don't think it'll be a big challenge that way. Actually, what I could do, if that is going to be a challenge, I could maybe get the gator on site, and if people don't want to carry, you know, if it's too big,
Or wheelbarrows.
or wheelbarrows. Yeah, good one. Yep.
Yeah, we've got a wheelbarrow that we could.
So is the band going to play on the west side of the tennis clubhouse facing the courts, where they can play for the people who are eating and drinking on the courts?
West side. So the
No,
Just
that's
facing
the road.
the courts, inside the courts, on the deck.
We'll be.
I thought they'd be on the lower terrace, like right in front of the lower south windows, lower south room windows.
So outside of the actual tennis club.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Not in the courts. No. I didn't think they'd be in the courts unless
No.
you guys
I
want
don't
to tell me
think
different.
Well, if the weather is nice, why not put them on the upper, like on the balcony or the terrace, whatever you call that thing?
Sure, they can go up. I just didn't know whether they would be seen as well. Like,
Yeah,
do
it
they
might
want
be a bit
exposure?
high. And then there's also the the fencing, so they may. I just don't think they would be seen very well unless you're really far back.
Right. So we could put them, like we could put them there, right there in front of the lower south windows. There's all kinds of
Yeah.
power outlets there.
I think that's a good spot.
And if the weather is nice, I mean, like I say, I'm just looking at an aerial Google thing here, but if the weather is nice, there's a patio there too, right? That they could pull out away from the building even more if it's
Yes.
not,
Yeah,
the
there's a
weather's
nice
good.
patio right there. You're right, Melinda. Yeah, we could bring them out away from the building a bit more.
I'm just thinking that if this is a fundraiser for the tennis club, if they're selling beer inside the courts, they would probably want the band on the patio facing the court so they could sell more beer.
As long as it's not too loud.
I
Yeah.
was assuming it'd be loud
I think
enough.
they'll be close enough that the patrons in the tennis courts will certainly hear them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They'll hear 'em.
I would think it would be loud enough, wouldn't it? Because we're outdoors.
Oh,
And
yeah.
then, but
Oh
then,
yeah. It'll be loud.
he's in the middle of the action with respect to the actual garbage and the people coming back and forth from the hikes and things like that, right? But
Yeah.
I'm just afraid that if people don't participate in the beer garden or whatever, they'll miss the Jake Hips band. Whereas if we put them in the parking, or like where we're thinking about in front of, so I'll just say on the south side of the community center, on the patio, that everyone, no matter what, will see them.
Mhm.
Yeah, I agree.
And I
Yeah,
think we
okay.
could just, that's where we could actually do the draw from too. We could just stand right there and do the draw prizes from there.
Mhm.
Hyoyan, could you speak with Jay and see whether or not, I know he'll be bringing microphones and that, just to make sure he's okay if we use his microphone to, you know,
Oh yeah.
make announcements and, okay,
Yeah, for sure.
great.
Will the um will we be letting people use the washroom inside the community center?
Yep.
Right. Are there bathrooms in the tennis clubhouse?
No,
Or is it just
no.
that one by the outdoor one?
Yeah, and that will be open as well. All nicely newly renovated bathroom.
Oh.
Yes.
And then there's also that porta potty as well, but
Yeah.
I'm sure no one will use that if the indoor ones are open.
Okay. So.
Awesome.
What about signage for the event? That's what I'm wondering. I guess we could just do, I could get Shelby to make some just poster board signs like make Mono shine.
Yeah,
I'm
I
just
mean,
thinking we don't have a huge budget for this event, so
it's too bad that it would have been great to make a banner to put up on those two pillars to just like put it up as soon as possible to just advertise the event.
yeah. Those
If there's budget.
banners are about $300.
And
I
just
mean,
Oh,
don't,
you were going to get one. I heard at the last meeting you commented, but it's too much money.
was that for this or for Mono on a Bike? I'm sorry, I couldn't remember.
Oh, you're right. Never mind. Never mind. I think it
Thought it
might have
was
been
for
for
Mono on a Bike because I had staff make logos that we're able to look at and decide what one we want to go
right.
with.
Right. No, you're right. You're right.
yeah, even if you're able to get some A-frames created, I mean, and then have them just in areas around the community center where there's lots of people that might be able to see, just to kind of help advertise the event.
Well, okay, I'll see if I have any A-frames. I might have some from soccer.
We could also stick some like around the like on the mailbox beside Mona Cliffs Inn is a good spot. Just putting posters up, and then ask Mona Cliffs Inn to post one on their doors as well.
Yeah, like I think did I send all of you the poster that has been made for Make Mono Shine?
No.
Okay. So I mean, yes, we do have just an 8.5 by 10 poster that will be put on all mailboxes in Mono. Kind of my date for that was April 1st, so not to put it out too early, to let people know about the event. But I'm just thinking more of on the day of the event, like some, I guess for lack of a better word, decoration? Like, should we have balloons or like,
No
actually, no, don't have
balloons.
balloons. Don't have balloons.
No
But
balloons.
Well, we
something,
should definitely recognize the participants. So the community groups, if we could
yes.
do like a thank you sign, recognizing all of them and all the people who have all the organizations that have donated prizes would be great. And then maybe just like a schedule of events, and then just like I guess the tennis club could make their own signs, but just like beer garden, present like Mono Cliffs and beer garden and patio or whatever, benefiting the Mono Tennis Club. And then maybe some. Do you already have any existing directional signage for washrooms?
No.
No.
I mean, that's easy enough. Just washrooms located indoors.
Yeah.
The Bruce Trail has their own signs for events, so we could put some of those out. Do you have a big whiteboard? Does the town of Mono have a portable whiteboard? Because you could put a schedule on it and it would work if it didn't rain.
Yep.
You could just put that up on something on an easel. People could see what's going on.
Yep. Great
Is that what
idea.
you-
And we
that
can
what you
put that
meant
right beside our table, like where we're doing the check-in. The other thing I really wanted to get made was some type of map. I know, Mike, you had talked about a map, and they talked about this in council as well today, of having a map and, you know, for people to tell us where they want to go and pick up garbage, or do we assign them a spot? And then, you know, kind of the before and the after map, you know, like here, all of these spots where,
with
you know,
picture.
garbage was picked up in. And I know the mayor specifically brought this up today at our council meeting to have something on site. And I'm just wondering if, you know, anyone wants to take that and run with it as far as getting that organized.
I could think of some sites around my location, but I would need help with more rural locations that would need.
Well, I'm wondering whether I can contact the GIS, like our GIS department, and ask them if they can create some type of map, like of Mono, with the roads and the parks and the trails on it. And then if I can have that then printed onto like a 3x4 foot board of some kind, and somehow we put that up, and I don't know, somehow it's marked on there where the garbage is going to be picked, like where people say, well, I'm going to go from, you know, here to here to pick up garbage, or I'm going to go to Lloyd Armstrong Park and pick up garbage, or I'm going to go, I don't know, like how this
Are we
part of it
picking up
be organized.
on Dufferin County Road ditches?
We had said in one of our meetings that we were not holding anything back, that this was Make Mono Shine, and it was trails, it was parks, it was roads. So people could.
So if we're going to do that, do we have a bunch of
Busy vests,
vests? Yeah.
gloves.
Yeah, as I'm saying that, like I probably have a dozen at the most. So
The county might. The county might.
Okay.
Like we have our own, so we can wear ours. Oh, that's another thing. Kim, we should probably provide gloves for participants.
I've got that covered.
Okay, great.
Yeah, I'm just going to give them the latex gloves that we use for cleaning.
Yeah,
So
and hand sanitizers.
yeah, there'll be lots of hand sanitizer that, yeah, I'm not like, there'll be a big jug of it there and people can use it. I'm not
And
buying little bottles.
sometimes the dollar store have those little grabbers that the kids would really love to use, if we could grab some of those, but they're in stock at some times and other times not. The grabber sticks.
Okay, grabber sticks at the dollar store.
Just to make it a little bit more fun for the kids to pick up garbage.
Sure. Um, so how do you want to organize the actual picking up of garbage?
I like the idea if you can get the town to do just like a big map of Mono, and then maybe we have just like either sticker dots or pins that people can put on the map and be like, okay, I'm going to hit this area. Or when they come back, they can put the sticker or kind of just indicate on the map, this is where I cleaned up. And then we'll just have like a big overview of all the different areas that people went to. Sally?
Is there any way that people can get bags in advance? Because if you live in Purple Hill and you're going to clean up a park over there, you got to drive all the way to Mono Center, pick up your bag, drive all the way back to Purple Hill, and then drive all the way back to Mono Center. That doesn't really make sense for Earth Day. Is there any
Well,
way that people could pick it up early? The stuff
Or
early?
yeah, we should have like almost like a neighborhood stations where you can go to get the bags and the sticks and the gloves beforehand.
Like I'd be willing to go, like if you had a couple, like I could go to Mono's, like to
Menorah?
Menorah or something. Like if there was a way to tell people that between like for an hour or so, I would be willing to go there and hand out the stuff if I knew people were coming. It's just that it doesn't make sense if you drive all the way to Mona Center, get the stuff, go all the way back, and then you come all the way back. That's like crazy. For
Well, yeah,
some people.
while we're talking, I was thinking, well, I'll get my garbage. If you a clear bag and a blue bag, I've got those. I'll just fill up my garbage here before I come to you at 9 o'clock to set up.
People would do
But we
that.
don't know what our bags look like or how big they are, I suppose.
I think people
But
would do it. I don't think they would take their own garbage because that would just be kind of weird.
Yeah,
not your
and
own
if
garbage,
anything,
not your own garbage. The
that's
garbage
on
outside.
them.
No, the garbage outside your street. Like there's my ditches. When I took my garbage, out this morning, which I have to go get my garbage this afternoon, I noticed that there's stuff in my ditch. So I thought, I need to pick that up. So I'm sure there'll be stuff there. If I pick it up today, I'm sure there will be stuff there again in April.
Yeah, but that's
So,
okay.
so you're right. Instead of the yo-yoing thing, I was thinking I would bring it on that day to you too, or take my
Yeah,
time
I
to get
mean,
there.
like people can just use their own garbage and recycling bags.
Yeah, as long as, and I guess the whole Dufferin County thing, as long as you're using the clear bags, right? Then our Dufferin County garbage people take it. And we can tell whether it's recycled or whatever for doing our weighing thing to see what we've done. And then when you get there with a bag, if you want, you can stick your sticker on where you put by your house, what road you did. And then, oh yeah, then there's more. You can go do more now. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just
What about in advance if we used Instagram and Facebook and asked people in the weeks leading up to take pictures of problem areas, show us where there's garbage in Mono, and then we can show after pictures like, look what we did. We cleaned up these pictures as before and after.
that's an awesome idea.
Yeah.
That's an awesome idea about how to get them, because that was one of the things that the mayor said, can we have some pictures? And I was thinking, well, how are we going to get the before and after? But if we ask, that's an excellent idea to ask the community to do it.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Oh, another sign, so that could be a sign that can be created, Kim, is like on site, just like an email and our social media handles of where you can share your before and after pictures. So as they're picking up their bags, we can encourage people to take pictures before and after to show us their cleanup, and then encourage them to share it on social media or an email that we can then post onto social as well.
So what I'll encourage them to send their pictures to us, and we will then share them on our social media pages.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
And that'll
also
help us
put it on
divert
website.
the right number of resources, i.e. garbage picker-uppers, to those problem areas.
Right, and we should use the hashtag make Mono shine. Then we can open up a page to see all of the pictures together.
Okay, so so what you're saying is encourage people to take pictures before they start, like in this could be like a week before. Is that what you're saying, Mike? Or
At least, yeah. Like the more
okay.
time we have, the more prepared we will be to tell people where to go.
So okay, so you want people to take pictures now and send them in to us as to where the garbage is? Okay. Am I getting this right?
Mhm.
Hmm?
And just make sure when they send their picture in that they let you know exactly the location the picture is from.
Okay. I'm just still trying to picture this all in my mind. Like the day comes, people come out to Mono Center and they say, I want to help pick up garbage. And how do we tell them this is where you go? And how do we document?
Well, they
So
can
say
look at the map. They can look at the map, and then
say
I
there's
don't think we
30
need to
pictures that
delegate where
come
they should
in.
go.
Pardon, Mike?
If we have, let's hope we get something like 30 to 40 pictures come in the weeks leading up to this. Well, the weekend before the event, we will log those locations and then we'll have our list so that when people ask us where to go, we'll have, problem areas 1 through 10 to send people.
Okay, so what I'm thinking right now is we do a social media kind of, I don't know what you call it, a blare out or whatever, saying help us make Mono shine. Send us where the problem areas are so that we know where to send people to on Make Mono Shine Day. Is that kind of what
Absolutely.
you're thinking?
Yep.
Okay.
And the response should be pretty high because everyone wants their neighborhood looking as clean as possible. So I would think people would want to send in any garbage picks.
Okay, so okay, on April 23rd. Okay.
And then in
I mean,
regards to the prize draw, so is that just going to be like
No, can we just go back to this before we move on to another topic? I just want to make sure we are totally clear on how this is all going to happen. So I'm liking what you're saying, Mike. I think it makes a lot of sense. So you're saying, okay, so April 23rd. So then we would want the locations sent to us I will say by April the 19th, which is the Tuesday ahead of time. And then Mike, if I could, can I send you all of the locations and then you organize
Yep.
kind of who goes where? Or
Yeah.
we won't know who goes where because it'll be just whoever shows up on the day of the event, right? But you'll organize the locations.
Yeah.
Does that sound good? Okay.
Yeah.
So
And most
send us,
likely they will pick the location that's probably closest to their residence.
right. Okay, April 19th. Okay.
And maybe we could all kind of get it started. So when you ask for pictures, we could start sending some in just to get the ball rolling.
Okay. Okay, I like that idea. So RAC committee members to send in pictures, to send in pictures to get this initiative rolling, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll ask council as well if they, if they see pictures, please, okay. Okay. I think that's a great idea. I think that's a great idea, Mike. So, we can show right on our social media, like, hey, look at these pictures before, and then hopefully on the Monday, be able to post the pictures of the after,
Mhm.
along with all the bags of garbage that hopefully we'll be able to take pictures of. And yeah. Okay, Mike, you are officially in charge of garbage pickup, like figuring out.
Okay.
Okay, that's your baby.
But,
Okay.
but with a map, right? Do we think that that's a good
Yeah,
idea?
so Mike, I'm going to try and get a big map. I'll talk to Jake in our GIS department tomorrow and see whether he can help us with somehow creating just giving me something in a format that I can send off to a printer and have printed up for us. Okay, does that work for everybody? Yeah. And then I guess I'll have them printed on like chloroplast or something. And maybe we can put it on a piece of board, because if I get it put on anything, you can't have it put on metal because you won't be able to stick a pin in it then. So is that making sense? And if we have to, we'll put a piece of plywood behind it. I'll get Dave to put it on a piece of plywood or something.
Mhm.
I'll figure something out. Okay. Okay. Okay.
The seedlings, what do you need us to help wrap those?
I've got staff looking after that. That's all been organized.
Okay. And then for the prize draws, is that that's going to be a raffle for everyone that fills a bag, right?
Right.
So
If
it's
you
going to be
fill a
like,
bag, my thought was, for every bag that you fill, you get a raffle ticket. And, it'll just go into like a big, I don't know, a garbage can or something. And
a recycling bin.
a recycling bin. And
Yeah.
we'll pick the raffle tickets out of the recycling bin. And I mean, hopefully we'll have like 15 or 20 prizes.
Oh, could we get, maybe when you have your conversation with Dufferin, could you ask them if they could donate one of those home composting bins? I know that they've
Good
got
idea.
those.
Okay.
Yeah. Or any like
Or a rain barrel. I
anything.
don't know if they do rain barrels anymore.
Ooh, reindeer would be cool. I'd love to get one of those. I know that they sell those home composting bins. They might sell the rain barrels as well.
Now, do we know what vessel all of this beer is going to be consumed from?
I mean, a vessel.
Like, are they handing out plastic cups to everyone?
No, we told everyone, bring your own cup to this event. So I
Bring
don't
your own
know.
beer.
Well, I
We
don't know
got
about a
keg?
beer garden. You know what? I can talk to Jason and just make sure that he's like he knows to be like providing recyclable, compostable serveware.
Yeah.
That he is in line with the event. I'll talk to Jason.
Yeah.
So I'm just being mindful of the time, and I do have another meeting after this. So, if there's anything else to finalize, if we could just quickly move on to Mono on a bike. Oh, what time do you want us on site for, Kim? Like eight?
Okay, well, I just want to go back to Sally's thing about I didn't get that clear about picking up of garbage bags. Where are we with this? What was decided on that?
Can people get them in advance? Is there going to be an opportunity for that? To get gloves and bags in advance?
I I hate the idea of bringing all these people into the town office, even though we are open. I'm not sure staff would be really happy with me.
We could have a split, something like Sally suggested, some specific time. You can use your own bag. If you have a clear bag, then bring from your road. But right, because this was our concern before when we talked about it, that we didn't want people bringing their own household garbage and just calling it a cleanup, right?
Yeah,
But
and
you
it
could
would
have.
be pretty obvious too.
I know, but you could have something at a specific time if you want to get your bag this hour and a half at Mono Center, Community Center, or Menorah, and you could all have it happen outside. Volunteer, I'd be pleased to stand there for a specific set time leading up to the event to get your
Yeah, what if
bag.
we just had like Sally or Melinda, one of you two, to have a pop-up site at Menorah between 9 and 10 of the event day for people that live south of Mono.
My only concern, guys, is this hasn't been advertised. It wasn't put on the flyer. Because
No, good point.
when we first discussed this, you said, no, we're just going to make it simple. We're going to have everybody pick it up at Mono Center. And so none of this has been advertised. The Make Mono Shine flyer is on the newsletter. The newsletter has gone to print.
Yep. Yeah, I
Right?
was just saying that you could put a little note out. You could put a little note out that, you could come and get your thing. And so people who hear about it, didn't have to drive back and forth. So then there's a few people who didn't have to drive back and forth. But the rest of us all, because it is the whole community spirit things where we settled on last time, right? The idea of everybody coming together at 9 o'clock in the morning, getting their bags, dashing off, coming back again, right? I mean,
Yeah.
but Sally does have a point with respect to, because there are other things we want to do now. We want to go hiking and we want to eat beer, and we want to see all the vendors, and right, there's other things to do than just collect, which is how we started, right? We started with just collect garbage and come and say thanks.
The garbage is kind of the most important, but
Yeah.
maybe just leave it, and then this will be like I assume this event's going to continue on, so we'll learn from this event and we'll find out how we can do it better next year.
Yep.
But
Right.
you could put this out on social media a week before. I mean, you're going to send out a blast about the photographs anyways.
Yeah.
So why not also tell people that there's an opportunity to pick up their bags at Mono Center or at the town office or whatever location you choose.
I think let me talk to Mark, and if he's good with having a supply of bags and gloves available at the town office, like the week prior to the, like the Monday through Friday prior to the event. So anywhere from 8:30 to 4:30, people can come in and pick it up. If he's okay with that, then I think that's the easiest way, as opposed to having one of our members go and sit at Menorah or whatnot on the day up, because we're going to need all hands on deck out at Mono Center, and to give somebody up, like, I just think we're creating a
My
more
suggestion,
challenging event than need
yeah, no,
be.
I didn't suggest Sally and I can go sit someplace on the day of, but the week before, a specific time. So it's not taking time
Oh,
from staff. It's not
okay.
having unmasked, vaccinated people coming in. That's extra. But it is speaking to the idea, as you say. I mean, it is a kind of an earth thing about drive up here, drive back, right? That
Yeah,
here
I
will
agree.
come. And so a small commitment on our point with respect to time, but an opportunity for people. They either take it or they don't, and otherwise you come on, yeah. And then we learn for next year. Maybe there's some other way to do it, but
Or
if we're feeling,
the other thing is if people actually bring their own, well, they start collecting garbage at their own house before they leave, and they bring it over. Like maybe they do the ditch in front of their house, or they do a park near
Yeah.
them. Then
yeah,
you could exchange the bags so they could at least get a bag back or something. I don't know.
Or this would probably be for next year because we don't have a lot of time, but maybe we talk to a Zehrs, a Home Hardware, a Home Depot, and have people go in with a sign that says, grab your free bags for community cleanup day, and then give the information at a Home Depot or something like that. I don't think we could do that this year, but perhaps next year.
Yeah, I think that's, yeah, I think that's definitely
Yeah.
something to be explored, and more making it like a county-wide event. You know, I don't want to put it on the stores that, well, you can only give these to Mono residents. You know, they're certainly not going to stop people and to ask them where they live before they give them a bag, right? So it would almost have to be like a county-wide, and um, yeah, we'd have to figure that out. Yeah, but I mean, Mike, I think it's a very worthwhile, you know, idea to look at for next year. Let me talk to the county. I think you know, they must do events like this. They must have some ideas. I know when I first suggested this type of event, or not this, I mean, the council wanted this type of event, but when I mimicked off of the town of Erin, basically all they did was they set up a parking or a spot in downtown Erin at one of the grocery stores. People came there, they picked up the bags from there. They go out, they pick up their garbage, and they came back there to get their draw prize, you know, for their draw prizes and things like that. So that's how Erin did it. And like I totally understand the whole thing, especially with the cost of gas these days. With trying to minimize the amount of driving people are doing.
Yeah.
I'm really trying to think it out. Like, you know, is it
I like the
possible
idea
to,
that Sally brought up, you know, if they do fill up some garbage bags in their area before coming to the community center, doing like a bag exchange, and then they can go out and continue to pick up garbage or something. But I think for this year, it's our first year doing it. Like, if people don't want to come to the community center first, but you know, we just encourage them to use what garbage and recycling bags that they have at home, and see how that works out. Sorry, guys, I do have another meeting that I have to, so we do need to wrap up. So if we could set maybe another time for maybe, does April 12th work for everyone? So it gives us just over a week and a half to finalize all these fine details.
That's a Tuesday.
No, April 12th is our mono
That'd be a council
evening
meeting.
What about the 19th?
Yeah.
The 19th?
And the 19th is free for me.
Dave, is the
So like the
19th?
21st might be, I have to work on the 14th of the evening. That's the Thursday. And then the 21st might be, I don't know if that's too soon before the, or too late before the event.
April 19th, I'm free, and maybe we could ask the someone from the tennis club to join us for that meeting.
That'd be good.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
So April
That's a
19th.
That's a last minute meeting, right? If we wait till the 19th versus trying to put something on the 7th, because what we wanted, I'm sorry, did you want Ahoyan to have an additional meeting? Yes, to go over the details for this, but all the stuff else that's on our agenda tonight that we didn't get to?
I would say that's what we do is we do a final wrap up of this
So what
Make
about
Mono Shine. So we devote 30 minutes to Make Mono Shine and an hour to the remainder.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, sure.
Okay, so which day is that?
Tuesday, April the 19th. It's right after the holiday, right after Easter.
That's awfully close to the actual event. Are we going to have enough time to implement any decisions?
Hopefully we'll
I mean,
have
we
all of the info
Melinda was
by
suggesting
then.
we might do it earlier, weren't you, Melinda?
I did, but that got nixed, so that's okay.
Okay.
I'm
Oh, sorry.
available
When were you saying, Melinda?
Well, I was saying, and I don't know whether Hoyan now works on Thursdays, but I was thinking, because you just said Thursday, the 7th is an option.
Yeah, the 7 works for me as well.
And then, yes, if we found that, yeah, we needed a last minute raw meeting, then we know we were available on the 19th, but the 7th gets this conversation finished and an opportunity to talk about mono on a bike.
Yeah, the 7th works for me.
So next meeting is April the 7th, which is what, 2 weeks away? Two and a bit?
Yeah.
What day is that?
So April the 7th at 5 o'clock, and that meeting will be devoted strictly to mono on a bike and Make Mono Shine.
Yeah, we'll just finalize Make Mono Shine, go over mono on a bike, and then there's a snowshoe lending program, but that's
Not that urgent.
Talk about that.
That can be
We got lots of time talking about that. Yeah.
Okay. So April the 7th at 5 p.m. Everybody good with that?
Yeah.
Okay, because I'll send out the meeting, what do you call it for that right now, actually, as soon as we hang up.
Okay, great.
Okay.
Thanks, everyone.
Okay, guys.
Bye.
Bye. See you in 2 weeks.